What's up, guys? Welcome into the crypto bunker. Today, I want to talk to you guys about what's going on in the markets. This is what I love to do. It's like my favorite thing in the world is investing, looking at charts, looking at sentiment on Twitter, listening to other people talk, other experts talk about the markets, and sort of taking all of those things and forming them into my own sort of opinion of what's going on. What I do believe is happening, and obviously I have the Amazon chart up for multiple reasons, but one of the reasons is it's one of the biggest companies in the world, and we've had this W sort of recovery on the weekly. It's not a it's a shallow W, but it usually is a pretty good sign. Now, one of the videos I made a couple of weeks ago, probably 4 weeks ago now, I was saying not to buy Amazon particularly, but I was saying that we were in the cards for a new rally, for a new bull rally, and I did buy some calls. I sold way, very, very early. Um, but the way that calls work is if people are so off sides and then it starts to go up a lot, you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time. So that's pretty much what happened there. So that was good. But I definitely made some mistakes along the way. But what I want to say is that what this looks like to me is a gravestone doji candle. You guys have seen this before when I attempted to call the ETH top, which did work out, but you've also seen it here. Um, a lot of these companies' charts look sort of similar. They're all sort of coming into the same resistance, I would say. Excuse my cat here. Um, but yeah, they're all sort of coming into the same resistance. We can look at the SPY. It sort of looks similar. Um, Here, we obviously have touched all these trend lines, and this is on the weekly time frame. We're touching the 100 moving average, which is just starting to come down. And you can still see how wide we are, right? I mean, this is not the time to go FOMO in, to accumulate, to do any of those things. It's a time to be patient, and it's a time to be in cash. And it's a time to wait and see if we can get one of the best opportunities of our lifetimes, not in stocks, but in crypto. Um, so I do want to show you guys um, something on the charts here. We're going to look at Amazon, and we're also going to look at Polkadot. Okay. Um, and so the reason we're looking at Amazon and Polkadot is because Amazon went through the dot-com bubble. Okay. So the dot-com bubble was a massive speculation frenzy that basically played out. And what I think is happening is that the dot chart and a lot of these crypto charts really are following, I mean, and Bitcoin, they look the most similar. They're following the exact chart of Amazon. And so you can look and you can honestly see that these are the same exact chart. Um, Once I sort of pull this down, um, it's crazy because they actually have the same characteristics. And I'll get rid of these drawings here just so you can see. But these are I think on the, let's see if I can get this on the daily time frame, just to make it. Oh, now I have to go back again. I apologize. Um, but anyway, so it's pretty crazy because again, look at what we have here. We have the dot-com bubble, the king of the basically of the trade there is Amazon. And so Amazon, it basically, as you can see, we have this sort of flat line at the beginning. And the cool thing about this too is that this is pretty much just when this stock started, right? So the stock only came into existence in 1997. So that's why it sort of is like it's cool because it's the first Amazon cycle that we went through. And so um what we have is we have the first blow off here, one, 2. You could say this is 2. We have a big crash, same exact thing. Literally looks exactly the same everywhere. Pops down, pops back up. We have this part of it. We have this part of it. We have this big, big ending top right there. And then we pretty much just chop straight down. And it's the same exact formation. Okay. The reason that this trade's the same is because these technologies are exponential in nature. They work based on network effects. No one really knew that at this point, but at the same time, maybe they did, right? Maybe there was insiders that were trading it. And now we can look back and people are trading Polkadot exactly the same way as they traded Amazon. And so now what we can do is we can look and see where we are in the cycle and where we can target. Now, Amazon went down 96% from that top. Polkadot only went down 90% so far. And so that's why I believe that Polkadot is going to put in a lower low. And based on today's price action, this looks very imminent, potentially, but it might not be, right? So this is where I think we are. As you can see, we came down, we made a low here, we made a low here, and then we came up, right? And then same here, we came up and we chopped, and then we went down. So we're chopping. We might even go like this, right? Then we come really down. So we might have like a short squeeze here. Then we come down to the real move. And the real move, in my opinion, is going to end up being probably around this $4 mark. This is really kind of the bottom portion of this accumulation range here. It's around $4. And this isn't just like some random call that I'm making. I study, what Polkadot is, and I study, Gavin Wood, all these guys. And, the funny thing about this too is that it's similar with the moving averages too. Because as we see, the 200 is on top here, right? So when the 200 is on top, and we can look at Ethereum as well and compare that too. But when because I think that's similar as well. And I'm not sure if it'll make a lower low, but it's definitely, in my opinion, going to, make like it could be a higher low at 1280 and fill the CME gap. But anyway, so with Polkadot, you can see it didn't touch the or Amazon didn't touch the 200. Same with this, right? Didn't touch the 200, but the 200 is coming down. So if we chop here like this for a month, the 200 will then come down and kind of nick it. It doesn't really touch it here. But what we can see is that the averages then again go upside down. So we have the 20, the 50, the 150, the 200. When they go full upside down and we see deviation away from that 20, that's when we look to potentially buy a life-changing opportunity. The reason I say that is because look what happened to Amazon. And this is the exact same chart. So I'm hoping that this plays out because it's the same chart. It's an upward accumulation. It's a 10x. It went to 27 cents. It topped out at I want to say 30 cents. So it was a 10x. So if we can get Polkadot at $4, I believe, or even $3, I believe it will go to $30 or $40, which isn't even the top, but that will happen within a year. I think by the end of next year, that's potentially there in the cards. So this is how you make money. You study past charts, but look what happened after that, right? Sideways accumulation again, probably touched the all-time highs here. So, dump, but we only came down to, again, a good accumulation range, and then we just pumped for years, right? Years and years and years until now. And so that's like what I think could play out in crypto. This was a long accumulation here, right? This is where we can accumulate. And as you can see, we flipped the 200 on the bottom again, and that's when we went. This is what I expect to happen. But right now, the 200's on the top. We can see that on ETH as well. ETH just crashed right through the 20. The 200's still on the top on the weekly time frame. with ETH, we were rejected. We were rejected from this level, from the 20-week moving average, which was moving down. So that's really hard to beat, because when a moving average is going down, usually that's resistance. I actually think there's a potential here to make lower lows. I'm just gonna say, but it's gonna be hard, because I think 1280 is a really good buy. Ethereum going through the merge is the most bullish thing in crypto right now. So during a bear market, people will probably rush to safety at some point. But what I've said to people is that Ethereum, the way that Ethereum moves, it's so volatile, you know? Every time that you think that, oh, it's only going to pull back to 1600, it rugs through the floor. Like it will seriously rug you. And the funny thing is this is the exact place we topped out here on this rally, and then we dumped. Look at the immediate weekly dump down to 1300. I don't think that's necessarily possible here, but there are a lot of people getting liquidated. I feel bad. I try to tell as many people as I can on Twitter what my opinion is. There was no need to FOMO in there. And like I said last time, the Ethereum merge is very bullish. You're getting paid to hold ETH. I talked about all the bull cases for ETH. But I definitely mentioned that we're going to try to touch this 200 week again. And to me, that's around 1300. But if we look at Ethereum on the daily, let's see if we can compare it to Amazon here. Okay. We actually can almost compare it even better than DOT, to be honest, because look at how we're flat, right? We were flat and then we popped here. What was this pop? That was this right here. Okay. Then we popped here, massive pop, right? Bam, massive pop. We didn't have the second pop, although the second one might have actually been this one, right? The first one might have been that one right there. Then we had this one, right? And then we had this one. Then we had this was more of a blow off. This was more of a steady sort of blow off here. And then we've just came down, right? And we could say that we're sort of in the same spot as where I said we were with DOT. We could say that because we're looking at moving averages to compare the two, we could say that because we didn't get to the 200 moving average here, same with here, we could chop in this range now, right? So the merge is coming. Okay, well, we pump again. We come up and we double top, right? That's what we did here. And the 200 would be coming down, and then we would sort of crash through the floor on a sell the news merge event. And then all of a sudden we might be back at 1,000. I mean, could we take lower lows? We would have to have some news, in my opinion. We'd have to have Tether, which could be possible. Tether, Bitfinex blowing up. They're being investigated by the government. So that's the type of thing that I'm waiting for. I want like peak fear. It's not easy to get, but we can see the same thing with, Bitcoin right now looks like it's definitely going to make a lower low, right? I mean, look at the thing. And it didn't even get close to the 200. It really just looks bad. But I think that it was trying to do this type of thing here. It wasn't able to. It didn't really have the bullish momentum. And then, yeah, I mean, we could make lower lows. There will be people who buy here and say that we'll make a higher low, but this is, it just doesn't look good. I mean, you're falling out of a wedge. It's the same as ETH. You're falling out of this wedge here. And now, you're through the floor, and I'm not really sure what's left down here in terms of support. I guess we have this like little 19K region, 20K. Obviously, everyone knows 20K is the old support, but there's really strong support down here at like 12, 14, 13, 12, something like that. We can talk about like some of the bullish stuff, BlackRock, coming in, but I'm not sure if they'll support proof of work. So once Ethereum goes through proof of stake, that's really good for the industry, because of the energy usage. But I think that what happened with Tornado Cash actually has to do with BlackRock coming in to invest in USDC, which is really bullish. BlackRock came in, invested in Circle, which is USDC, US stablecoin. And right after they did that, Tornado Cash was sanctioned by the government. And Tornado Cash is used to basically like mix money. It's sort of like if you commit a crime and you go to the casino, you exchange the money for chips, and then you exchange the chips back for money again. It's different money, and then you use that money to go buy drugs. You sell that, and so it's like it's like mixing the money up for criminals. So that's the same thing, except this is in code. Um, so that's kind of mixing it up in that way. So anyway, the government sanctioned Tornado Cash, and they even arrested a couple people in the Netherlands, I think. And so what we're looking at now is a cleanup of the space. So BlackRock's coming in; they're not buying at these levels. So, in my opinion, they will wait for blood in the streets potentially. I don't know if we'll get it, but they will wait for this momentum to play out. And I mean, to say that this rally was light volume is an understatement, right? So, it's sort of like, when the parents are gone, the kids will play type of thing in the summer with stock markets. Everyone who's anyone and who has big money and is pushing big money around, they're all on vacation. And usually that's not good for the stock market in August, but this time was different. This time was a major short squeeze. We may have even had people who went on vacation with massive shorts and then had to like get squeezed out while they were on vacation. So they're not going to be happy. I mean, I just don't think that this is the real move. I think it was kind of the perfect opportunity for this to happen. But the real move, I believe, will happen in September, October. And this is probably when we're going to be able to buy that lower low, potentially in stocks as well. So that's what I'm thinking right now. These guys will come back. These big money managers, they are probably going to go short, and they're going to just dump the market. Because again, they've been on a yacht for a month or two, so they haven't been managing money at all. This is just like retail squeezes and sort of like speculative mania, Bed Bath and Beyond, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu type stuff. So it was kind of obvious, right? I mean, end of the cycle is usually dog coins pumping. You could go down the list of market cap coins, and you could look at like the 500th biggest coin pumping 50% in 7 days, and you could just say, well, this isn't sustainable. This is obviously what happens at the end of a run. And it's fun being part of the space, and sort of being able to call this stuff out. I mean, I don't know if there's people who just are new, or they just keep losing and keep thinking that it goes up forever or something. But there were a lot of people on Twitter who were very bullish, and I actually love it because it's like a sentiment indicator for me. So that really helped me to stay in my thesis of being patient, stacking cash, stacking potential dip buying money. So yeah, I mean, I think that right now, just kind of prepare, make sure you have some money set aside to buy the dip, because I do think that the next big dip, if we get a lower low, will be the best buying opportunity of our lifetimes for crypto. Another coin I'm looking at, so I'm probably only looking at a few coins here. So this is big deal. I've done my research. I know what I'm doing here. So this isn't just like pump and dump. Obviously, I don't get paid for any of this. This is a small channel. So a few coins I'm looking at: IMX, okay, Immutable X. They are partnering with some big players, one of them being Turner Sports, with the NBA. So basically, the guys who did Top Shot are now coming over to IMX to do a bunch of other things. Um, they're partnered with so many people, Disney, just the works. And the cool thing about them is they have the security of Ethereum, but they have the speed of the layer two, and they have the ease of use of like a protocol that you might not know, called Near Protocol. So a few ones I'm looking at. IMX on the dip could be 30 cents. Okay, none of this is financial advice, obviously. Polkadot around $4, 387, 4, something like that. I still haven't done my due diligence on Near Protocol, but I am interested potentially in Near. I've heard good things. They seem like really good developers. They seem like very ease of use type blockchain, sort of like Polkadot is trying to be, a little bit earlier of the stage of Polkadot. And then also Energy Web Token, and then obviously Ethereum. But Energy Web Token, anywhere in the $2.50 range, I'm probably just going to buy a small amount. It's a very small market cap coin, but BlackRock did mention Energy Web Token in their latest paper about crypto. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you guys got something out of the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and have a great day and great weekend.